transition to NBA since while we're already on the topic. You guys already know what happened. To give you a brief recap, of course, the Milwaukee Bucks were able to edge out the Brooklyn Nets in overtime in Game 7 on the road. A truly masterful performance overall by both teams in the end. Just unreal finish to that game. Brook Lopez with the blooper of all bloopers to not remember how much time he had to shoot the ball, which led to the Nets getting the ball back. And then just one of the most clutch shots I've ever seen from Kevin Durant, who just so barely stepped on the line that ended up tying the game and not winning it. And then you could just tell by the end he was gassed. He threw up an air ball in the end to pretty much seal their fate. But Chris Middleton hitting the game-winning shot for the Milwaukee Bucks, sending them to the Eastern Conference Finals. And they have a date with the Atlanta Hawks, who were able to go into Philadelphia for a Game 7 and eliminate the 76ers. Truly unreal. It was a sloppy game all across the board. No one seemed like they wanted to win. Trae Young had a very poor shooting night. Somehow, some way, that team edged it out, and the Hawks are moving on after a very impressive performance all series long, to be quite honest. And on the other side, of course, the Suns, they've been waiting after they swept the Nuggets, Suns in 4, and they finally had a date with the Los Angeles Clippers, as we alluded to earlier, who came back down 2-0. It looked like the Jazz were going to pull away in Game 5. The Clippers were able to rally, took Game 5, stole that one. We're down by 25 points at home, and somehow rallied through Trey Mann and company, and pulled it out to win that series in 6, minus having Kawhi out with a knee problem that they refuse to tell us exactly what's going on, but he just continues to be out indefinitely. So we'll try to get you more updates with that as well. But yeah, it's just truly unreal how we even got to these conference finals. And now, of course, we do have one game under our belt with the Suns beating the Clippers in Game 1. Talk about masterful performances. Devin Booker with a 40-point triple-double made it look so easy. His first career triple-double, and he does it in the Western Conference Finals with 40 points. A very insane start to what hopes to be a pretty exciting matchup between these two teams. What were some of your takeaways from those Game 7s and now into Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals?
Well, the Game 7s we got were pretty much polar opposites. The Bucks and Nets was about as high level as you can get. Giannis showed up big time. He had been doubted. People were talking bad about him in the playoffs.
I did. I questioned.
Giannis, yeah, we did. I think a lot of people questioned him. Most analysts questioned him. They were asking, what do you have? And Giannis Antetokounmpo, he put all the doubt behind him. He had confidence. He went forward. He himself had a 40-point game. Kevin Durant, another phenomenal outing. His Game 6 was maybe one of the greatest playoff performances I've ever seen in my life. So an unreal run for Durant ends essentially because their superstars have one of the 4 legs necessary to compete in basketball. Just worn out at the end. Phenomenal Game 7. As you said, the Sixers Hawks. Pretty low-level basketball being played. Shots were passed up. A lot of shots were missed. But in the end, I think this is going to sound controversial. The 76ers were the 1 seed. But in the end, I believe the better team won that series. I think the Hawks are a better team. And I think a lot of it, personally, stems from being a better coach team. And Nate McMillan, he's been getting his credit all throughout the postseason. But Doc Rivers is a cursed man. I'm telling you, 4 straight Game 7 losses. He's blown the most 3-1 leads. And as I saw somebody say on Twitter, I don't want to take credit. Somebody said it on Twitter. I can't remember who. Doc Rivers better thank KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Rajon Rondo, because without that championship, there's no way he has a job next year. After all the choky we've seen, The fact that he has the championship under his belt gives him more leeway than most. But, man, he's got to take some blame in this series to blow, I believe it was Game 5, the way they did. To blow Game 5 the way they did, to fall in that 3-2 hole. Just horrendous decisions made down the stretch with, who was in the lineup, how you ran offense, which was throwing it to your center beyond the free throw and 3-point line. Just very, very poorly done in that series. So we saw two pretty much polar opposites. But I love Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. You want to talk about guys doing what they do, high-level basketball all across the board. Because Booker, he got the 40-point triple-double. Paul George was going off of that game too. This podcast has been a big hater of Paul George, as most of the NBA fans have, but he's really done his thing since Kawhi's gone out. And those are two guys who, with fellow superstars missing, really did their thing. The supporting cast were all very good. I think that's going to be a fantastic series. Now, it might not go 6 or 7. The Suns seem to be more talented, more well-rounded, and they're missing their second-best player as opposed to their best player, which obviously helps. But I think we're going to see high-level basketball night in, night out from those two teams. And Devin Booker.
He's a beast.
I don't even need to say anything else. I wasn't sure. He was...
Dude is incredible, man.
Stephen A. Smith called him the next Kobe Bryant. I don't know if we're going to get too far ahead of ourselves.
I will never be able to bring
this is his first ever playoff run. It's a great one, but it's only his first, so I don't know if we're going to go that far. But what a first playoff run it's been so far. I mean, I really don't have anything else to say. That's just incredible what he's doing.
Well, as much as we like to send praises Devin Booker's way, I would be shamed by some of my friends if we did not talk about this, because I've actually had several people today ask me about this and what my opinions were. We have got to send some negative energy towards Ben Simmons. What occurred last night was a true travesty. Passing up wide open shots, not shooting the ball, and I have the stat here. It is truly unbelievable. Like it's the stuff like you just cannot make up. The fact that Ben Simmons he was 0 for 0 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter of games 4, 5, 6, and 7. Did not take a single, not didn't make, not bricked, airballed, didn't take a single shot in the fourth quarter of the last 4 games of the series. You're giving me a blank space, a blank stare here. I don't think you understand just how unreal that is. To be considered a co-star or the second best player on the number 1 seed, you don't take a single shot, and you're the primary ball handler. So it's not like you're a guy who, they have to feed you the ball and they just never found you. You have the ball in your hands at all times. You took 0 shots in 4 straight fourth quarters. That is mind-blowing to me. That is unbelievable. And I'm not even a 76ers fan. So I am sorry. For those Philadelphia fans this morning, I am sorry. I don't know. I don't even know what to say to you. That is a crime. That is $177 million just wasted. That is a crime. That's much money they spent on that man. That is.
I think the reason that I'm giving you the blank stare is I've never thought of him as a superstar.
You don't have to be a superstar. You just a basic a rotation guy will take a shot in the last 4 quarters.
Yeah, and I should rephrase. I don't think he's very good, and I haven't thought that. He's a good defender, but essentially what Ben Simmons is he's big and he can pass, and people want him to be Magic Johnson. People want him to be LeBron James, and he has such glaring deficiencies in his game. You know why I don't think he went up with that shot yesterday? I don't think it was necessarily because he was afraid he would miss the layup. He's afraid he's going to get fouled. He was afraid if they fouled him, he'd have to go to the line and shoot in front of the fans. And every time he misses, groan in the stands. Oh, here we go again. He makes one, he gets the sarcastic cheers because of how horrible he is at that aspect. And that's something that he was bad at when he entered the league. And that's something that people, when he was drafted, people were saying, well, you can improve shooting. What you can't teach is his athleticism, his size, all that. The court vision is harder to improve. You could improve the shooting. And the fact that it's regressed, it's troubling for a few reasons. Either one, you really can't improve his shooting. A lot of people think he shoots with the wrong hand, which might be the case. Or two, he refuses to work on it. This is his 5th year in the league. 4th year he's playing. He sat out his entire rookie year. But this is his 5th year as an NBA player. And he's regressed. And he's on the first year of his $177 million contract, and the 76ers have no choice but to get rid of him. No choice. Your star player, the 76ers' actual star player, and the only star that team has, was out there playing with basically a torn meniscus, giving it his all, and they threw the ball to him. They said, go do everything for us. Go. We're in trouble. Embiid, on one meniscus, go do everything for us. So, yeah, and when Embiid gets mad at Simmons at the press conference, I get it. That's supposed to be the other guy on the team. The only guy you're getting contributions from outside of that, Tobias Harris. And he gets contributions and makes baskets because he's aggressive, because he hasn't lost all of his confidence, because he doesn't have a huge lack of talent in a specific area of the game, an area that now is more important than it's ever been. So Ben Simmons, he's got to be traded. They don't believe in him. He doesn't believe in himself. And you've got all this money sitting there. And there will be a team out there that's going to pick him up, and they say, well, we don't need somebody to come score the ball for us. We need somebody to set us up. There'll be somebody to take a chance, but he will never, ever, ever, as the number 1 pick, he'll never, ever be the co-star that a team needs to win a championship if he does not improve drastically. And I mean very drastically. Because right now he doesn't believe it. Nobody should believe in it, which is why when they're asking Doc Rivers, a guy who has seen, again, he was with one of the great teams of all time in terms of talent, but seeing all the talent that it takes to win a championship, when he says, I don't know how to answer that question about if Ben Simmons could be a point guard on a championship winning team, there's no faith there. It was about as bad as it could possibly get. And I get that he does other things well. He's a good defender, and here's the thing.
Here's the thing, man. He is great at a number of different aspects in the game, but the most important thing is scoring. Like it doesn't matter. Like, because I agree. Like Stephen A's assessment of him, he is LeBron James-esque without a jump shot. But the problem is that's the main thing. Imagine a wide receiver who was amazing at amazing routes, was fast, was great at getting off the press jam, but dropped the ball every time it touched his hands. What good does that do you? It doesn't matter. You can open up the defense, you can burn the corner, you can do anything, but if you can't do the finishing product, it doesn't matter. And that is unbelievable that we are sitting here talking now in his 4th year of actually playing, and we're saying the same thing that we said back when he was winning Rookie of the Year as a 2nd-year player. I don't understand. Like, what do you do all day? What do you do all day? That is your job. You should be doing nothing but shooting free throws and working on your jump shot. I don't know if you're shooting with the wrong hand or not. You should be at least have enough confidence, have enough work ethic in your art that you at least attempt shots. He's not even taking shots now. I don't understand it. They 100% have to trade him. I mean, the coach should have was asked if they can win a championship, and the coach said, I don't know. Like, you got to go. There's no way. And then Philadelphia, of all places, too. That is not a market where you can underperform. So No, the fans are going to just continue to hate on him. The coach doesn't believe in him. The best player on the team is not happy. And you've invested money. That's fan happiness, coach, best player, and money are all jacked up in that. That's 4 strikes. Gotta go. He's gotta go.
And to pile on now, everybody knows that they need him gone. Everybody knows that they want him gone. So now your trade value
is way down,
plummeting very quickly. I saw today they were talking about it. Some analysts, they were talking about what would be a good trade, Ben Simmons for CJ McCollum. Why would the Blazers give that up? You're asking now why the Blazers would give CJ McCollum for a guy who was a number 1 overall pick.
That's horrible.
It's about as bad as it gets. And not only did the Sixers do this with Simmons, they already had to get rid of Markelle Fultz, who was a number 1 overall pick. I mean, some process.
That process is trash. Like, yeah, you keep tanking, eventually you're gonna get some good players, but you've screwed this all up. You have screwed it. He should have been with the shooting coach from day one. They should do nothing but take shots all day long. And he should be vast. Dude, the 76ers are good enough too, where in the regular season it doesn't even matter. If they drop a couple games, it doesn't even matter. Like, you want to obviously be competitive, but I would rather him be out there taking like stupid shots, like heavily contested shots, just to work on a jump shot to be more prepared for the playoffs. Like who cares if he goes out there and he shoots 4 of 20? At least he shot the ball. At least he can see what he's doing and why it's not going in. He's not even doing that now. He's got to go. And yeah, at this point, I just watched my team get eliminated in the first round. I don't know if I would trade Dennis Schroeder for Ben Simmons right now. Because Dennis Schroeder, he can't make a shot, but Lord knows he'll take them. He'll at least take them. And is Ben Simmons distributing that much more than what Dennis Schroeder gives us? I don't know. Obviously he's better at it, but if he's not going to score, what's the point?
And especially, and you look at other teams that are competitive. You guys, for example, LeBron James has the ball in his hand. Dennis Schroeder gets the ball if LeBron is like, hey, I want to dish now. So Ben Simmons would be, no offense, absolutely useless on your team.
Oh, no.
What are you going to do?
I wouldn't want him. I would not want him.
What are you going to do? Stick him on the block? Keep an extra defender in the lane? Because nobody's going to guard him out by the 3-point line. Hell, he doesn't shoot layups when given to him. Nope. You know he ain't taking no threes.
Nope. And with LeBron, he's a drive and kick. So we're gonna need shooters out there. We have a guy who don't even want to shoot or don't shoot at all. No, he would be horrible. I literally would not. A guy that I'm not very happy with right now because Dennis Schroeder was terrible in the playoffs. I wouldn't even trade him for Ben Simmons. That's unbelievable. That's how bad we are now. So I don't know what that means for Ben Simmons, but I don't even know where he's gonna end up. That's pitiful. He's gonna have to do something. He needs to talk to Blake Griffin. That's what he needs to talk to. Blake Griffin was considered just. He was an all-star, but he was mainly known for his dunks and being able to be a high energetic player. To now, Blake Griffin's a bucket sometimes. From beyond the arc, the dude is a bucket. He needs to talk. Whatever Blake Griffin did to get him to get a jump shot, that's what Ben Simmons needs to talk to. Because whatever he's doing is not it. And Joel Embiid's a big man too, who shoots. I don't understand. You literally have a prime example in your own locker room of a big guy who's improved his shooting. I don't get it. I don't get it. Ben Simmons. This will probably be the last time on this podcast we go this far in depth with you because this is just dumb. This is just pathetic. No shots in 4 straight fourth quarters. I wish somebody would. On my team do that.
Shoot, I would have shot shots. They don't even pay me.
I could go out there for free and take a shot. I'm 5'8". It's just.
I think
It's just terrible. I don't know. I'm done with Ben Simmons right now. That it just makes no sense. Like so many guys would give to be that height, give to be in that position, and you don't even try. You don't even try. Yeah, man.
Work ethic and confidence.
Yeah, no respect for that. To get off of that topic, though, we'll leave Ben Simmons alone. He's been slandered by every single media outlet you can know to man. We're no different. We'll leave him alone for now. A few other things that happened around the NBA. The Pelicans are moving on from Stan Van Gundy after just one single year. It's just a revolving door for that franchise. And I called it. I said they had about a 3-year window. Zion is not going to sign an extension there based on how this is going. He will not be there for very much longer if this is what they're going to be doing. And honestly, they're wasting Brandon Ingram too. He's starting to become a very good player. They're wasting his talent. Lonzo's actually improving, but it's to no end. He's improving, and they're winning 30 games a season. So I don't know what to say about the Pelicans there. The Wizards and Scott Brooks could no longer be on a contract, so they're going to part ways. So what does that mean for Bradley Beal? I'm not sure. We'll just see what happens there, as well as Russell Westbrook, his former coach in OKC. And then the Mavericks also parted ways with Rick Carlisle, who's been there for 13 seasons. I was really shocked by that one. I thought they would keep it together. It seemed like Luka liked Rick Carlisle. They kind of got rid of him, or couldn't agree on what they want to do moving forward. They also got rid of their GM earlier in the offseason as well. And then there was some big news the other day with a trade revolving former now Celtics point guard Kemba Walker. He has been traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder in return for 2 bigs in Al Horford and Moses Brown. The Thunder again not only gained Kemba Walker but get another first-round draft pick. It's unreal how many picks these guys have gained now. It's truly unreal.
Yeah, they're scouting real hard for that 2029 draft already. They see the videos that Overtime Hoops posted the 4th grade players, got them marked down a little book. Meanwhile, other NBA teams won't have draft picks until 2029. None of them to work on. They don't even know who's in college right now. But, Brad Stevens' first move for the Celtics. Brad Stevens' first move. And a little interesting that we sent the best player of the 3 and a first-round pick.
First round, yeah. For two aging players. Well, one aging, but...
Yeah, Al Horford's an aging player. We're finally going to have somebody in the locker room that was, not either a child or still in college before 2010. So there will be some veteran experience, I guess, and a guy who's familiar with Boston. Moses Brown, there's a lot of upside there. Still a little unproven, but they needed bigs. And I'm just going to go out and assume that Al Horford is Brad Stevens' guy. I think he loved him when he was there in Boston. He went out, got them. He was like, well, I'll go get a guy who can mentor along the way too. Maybe turn Moses Brown into Al Horford 2.0, something like that. So the Brad Stevens always has an Al Horford on his team or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess only time will tell. I remember we traded KG and Paul Pierce to the Nets that draft night. And everybody said, what the hell are the Celtics doing? And now here we are. The Nets didn't do anything with what we gave them. They've got all the superstars. And we thought we won the deal. So who knows, NBA trades. There's going to be a lot of them. You never know exactly.
Yeah.
But just interesting how fast they got rid of him right away, though. I mean, he wasted no time. He got hired. He said, I'll give it a week. Then I'm getting you out of here. Couldn't play for me for 2 months in the season.
Yeah, he was not happy with Walker. But how about OKC, man? 36 picks over the next 7 drafts. 18 first-round draft picks, 18 second-round draft picks.
By the way, roster size in the NBA, in case anybody's wondering, is 17 players. I think you can have 18
you
players.
You only have 15 on the active roster.
On the active roster, you can have 15.
Yeah.
I think it's 17 because you get the two-way players. You can sit them per game, but there has to be huge moves coming. I mean, I think they look at a team. You just talked about them. I think you go out, if you're the Thunder, you look at a team like the Pelicans. Like, wow, you have a lot to offer. If you're blowing everything up, you can't re-sign these guys. We're just gonna move, a Brandon Ingram over, or get a Zion over.
Brandon Ingram.
Find out. Right, they're waiting. They're in the wings watching what's gonna blow up here. What can we go get? I mean, it's not unfathomable to think that the Oklahoma City Thunder in maybe just 2 years could have Kemba Walker, Brandon Ingram, Kristaps Porzingis, like a CJ McCollum, like guys like this. They're stockpiling a lot, and there's going to be a lot to do with it because the Thunder aren't going to be very good for a while, and they've got about every pick in the draft, so they can give out some pretty, nice picks. I mean,
yeah,
interesting spot for them because none of the fans know the roster right now, but that's okay because it will be a completely different roster probably by the time the season tips off.
Yeah, they've got a lot coming their way, so shout out to them.